It's that time again, shippers. Time to get to know something more about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and the Merc with a Mouth, who together form one of the most popular pairings in Marvel fandom, known as Spideypool. Thanks and shoutouts to all those who requested this pairing. This is Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy, and let's get started. Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, needs very little introduction. He was bitten by a radioactive spider, granted spider powers, learned the hard way that with great power comes great responsibility, and J. Jonah Jameson has an irrational dislike for him specifically. Thanks to the 2016 Ryan Reynolds film and his huge spike in popularity since the 90s, Deadpool needs very little introduction as well. Formerly known as Wade Wilson, he contracted cancer and in a desperate attempt to find a cure, fell into the hands of Weapon X and was mutated into, well, the character that you know and love today. Fourth wall breaking, insane, and just out for, well, whatever suits his fancy at the moment. Deadpool. These two characters already have a history together. Their first appearance where they properly interact is said to be Cable and Deadpool issue 24, wherein Deadpool tosses Peter Parker out of a car off a bridge, and he then returns in his Spider-Man form, none too pleased. However, at this point, Deadpool expresses a trait he has had for quite a while, a deep-seated love for Spider-Man. Side note, the two had a quasi-sort of encounter in Deadpool number 11 from the original Joe Kelly run, where Deadpool took on the identity of Peter Parker, but that's another story entirely. Since their first meeting, the two have met on and off, with fans being particularly drawn to their interactions, and quite quickly a ship emerged. So why do people ship these two? Well, as mentioned, Deadpool is in awe of Spider-Man and views him as a real hero. He wears Spider-Man merchandise and is always pleased to see the hero and offering to help him out whenever their paths do cross. And Deadpool ramps his flirting up to 11 when these two are together. There is absolutely nothing subtle about his interest. There is even some French-made cross-dressing going on. But the interest is not just sexual, but personal, as their bond grows ever closer in their latest team-up comic penned by Joe Kelly that sees Deadpool protecting Spider-Man's identity, giving him a gentle forehead kiss, and doing all he can to maintain the tortured hero's already poor reputation. It is quite clear that Wade cares deeply for the Spider. But what about the flip side? Well, Peter is frustrated by Deadpool, as most people are, but thanks to his own innate wit, the two end up swapping quips and jokes more often than not when they do meet up. And Peter is just a genuinely caring guy. He worries about people, and Deadpool is no exception. Fans of this pairing see a similarity in the two characters. Both were mutated against their wills and saw their lives change drastically because of it. Both have horrible reputations in the general community, though in all fairness, Deadpool earned a fair bit more of his. And both have had consistently terrible luck, personally and romantically. Fans like to think that these two would have an understanding of each other and be able to soothe the other's wounds. Spider-Man seeing past the surface of Deadpool to the troubled yet potentially kind guy underneath, and Deadpool finally providing Peter with someone who is behind him 100%, no matter what. These two could potentially pair up against a world that often misrepresents and maligns them, to live in their own bubble of humor and acceptance. So those are some reasons for, but why would you not ship it? Well, as mentioned, the two are quite sassy, and if you find either one or both of these characters annoying, this pairing is just going to be too much to handle. Also, the angst factor. Both characters have quite a bit of angst, and while some see them helping each other out, it is just as conceivable that the opposite could happen. Bad things tend to occur to the people that Peter loves, and just because Deadpool is invulnerable doesn't mean that he can't be hurt, and Peter has enough guilt as is, some of it completely unwarranted. Speaking of, we have to bring up the killing. Deadpool is a mercenary operating on a spectrum of sanity, and his arrow is not always pointed towards hero. While Spider-Man does make him want to be a hero and a better person, and serves as an example for him, and could potentially bring him up and keep him in check, Deadpool is unpredictable, and Spidey doesn't stand for killing unless absolutely necessary. Huge unless. Wade's killing sprees are not something he'd find cute or necessarily tolerate. He is a bad enough rep as is. And finally, something that can occur with all popular pairings for people. Maybe it just didn't click. You didn't read any of the issues where they flirted, felt their costumes were too similar, or just saw it and went, meh, hey, it happens. Spideypool can't be everyone's OTP. But for those who it is, this pairing is showing no sign of slowing down, and as their recent team-up series proves, writers are taking notice and embracing it. So there should be many more moments to come in the future, which is great news for all you Spideypool fans out there. Fics about these two are wide and varied, everything under the sun. Hurt comfort, smut, AUs, a ton of fan art and mixes galore. It's just a very large and active community. Check it out if you like sass, team-ups with other heroes, and just two people against the world. This was Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Instagram to see what's coming up next, request-wise and just vid-wise in general. And stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.